All right, guys, it's a new day, it's a new feeling, it's a new experience. Early in the morning, I woke up, attacking the day. I looked at the day and I was like, "Are you a black person? Because you're not allowed in my business." No, I'm kidding. I didn't think that. People used to think that. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy? People used to think, "Oh, you're black, you can't come in my business." And you know what's about to happen? If you're straight, you're not allowed in fucking the gay business. I'm telling you that right now. If you don't fucking have the black square on your Instagram, you're not welcome in to Panera Bread. They won't let you get the mac and cheese, okay? Or the bread bowl. You can't get the bread bowl with, chicken noodle soup in there. Oh, yeah. No more. And, am I happy about it? Probably deserved. You know what? Here's what I really think. I think what they're trying to do is like, and this just sounds terrible, and I don't want it to come across as bad because I'm not blaming gay people or anything. I just feel like you're susceptible. Okay? I feel like you're just stupid. No, I don't think anyone's stupid. It happened to white people. It happened to white people. I just think it's a tool they're gonna use. It's just like, you know what made me think? Okay, because here's what I'm comparing. Listen, I'm just gonna say it now. I'm comparing the LGBTQ to Nazis, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm saying it, and I'm sorry. It's just what's happening, and I don't want to, be the bad guy here. I'm not trying to attack anyone. I honestly don't even care, you know, if you're part of the LGBT, and you're probably not a Nazi, and I don't think you are. I don't think anyone is. I don't think anyone's trying to. I think it's just the government is tricking you, LGBTers. It's just a trick on you. It's a trick on you. They're fucking you. They're making you look like fools. They're making you look like idiots. I'm just being honest. It's your fault for even wanting the government to be involved in your life. Like LGBTQ people are the just not dumb. It was just they got tricked. They got tricked. If I was a gay person, you know where I'd be? In the woods. I'd go to Bohemian Grove. You guys know what that is? You know what they do in Bohemian Grove? The more I hear about it, because the Bohemian Grove, Alex Jones went. It was like supposed to be this fucking underground political meeting place, which is kind of true. But I'm pretty sure for the most part they just do drugs and fucking have sex with each other, and then they like get to have a good time. But I'm sure they just use it against each other and stuff like that. So I'm sure that's the whole purpose of it. But if I was gay, I'd just go live in the woods or something, or trans. Like you guys do know, it's just like you know. You can like break off and like do your like we did that. That's what America was. We didn't like. So that's what's gonna happen. America is gonna split off into two very soon. But yeah, I'm just worried. Like they've already started doing. And listen. I don't want to offend. I don't think there's anything wrong with being LGBTQ. Um, there's nothing wrong with supporting it. Here's what becomes a problem when you're because in Italy or I mean I don't know too much. I don't really know where it is. But in places in Europe and some places around the world, they are currently stopping people, or they have stopped people bank accounts because of stuff they've tweeted or supported. Oh shit. Give Jake money. Oh God. Well, that's what happens when the government listens in on your conversations. They ruin it. That was all government planned. Had nothing to do with me. That was not my fault. That was the government's fault. Okay, and they want that to happen because they want me to be gay and cut off my pee-pee. But I'm not going to do that probably. Maybe I will. I've been kind of thinking about it recently, but what's the point really? Here's another question, because I talked to somebody recently about it. Oh wait, let me get back to my point. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm not trying to attack any LGBTQers. I'm just, when you see them replace, I think it was like the Union Jack or something, on a government official building with the. I honestly don't know a lot, so I'm a uneducated retarded person. But when you see the fucking pride flag hanging in place of like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, come on, guys, what are we doing here? Let's think for a second. Because one, the pride flag is not about unity at all. It's or pride or whatever. It has nothing to do with unity. I don't care. You're not about unity at all. You're about indoctrinating your beliefs onto others, which is what the whole idea was against in the first place. I feel like Bill Maher right now. I love Bill Maher. He's such an idiot. Okay, he's not an idiot. He's just like he just thinks he's so smart. um, but yeah, I just feel like, and it's almost like it's smart. It's smart what they're doing because if you look at it from face value of whatever they're just telling you they are and what it's supposed to be, it seems like a great fucking thing, right? Inclusivity, um, inner prejudice. It's about coming together, right? And accepting people for their differences. Here's the problem with it. That's not what it is. It's about making you not tolerable or accepting. They want you to adopt that lifestyle, be a part of it, and they want your kids to be a part of it. Okay? Um, and I don't know. I just don't know. Listen, here's the other thing. I get that kids are fucking gay, and maybe kids are trans. I don't know. I don't think you should ever talk to a kid about being trans or gay. And I get the argument where it's like, well, in school, they talk about being married or stuff like that. But again, guys, come on. At the time, and I'm sure, and people will say, well, it's growing because of ABC. Well, I just don't think so. I don't think. Listen, being gay has existed forever, so I don't think it's anything that's particularly a bad thing or anything. I just think it's bad when you try to make you know people adopt it, not accept it. It's been accepted. Okay, 99% of the fucking people accept you. All right, now you've taken it too far. You're fucking going out on the street. You're giving people an excuse to fucking act like pieces of shit. That's really what you're doing. You're giving people the excuse to say, "Well, I'm a." People always say, "I'm not." This is not an original idea, but it's true. People just want to be the victim because it's easier. It's just easier to do that. I like doing it too. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm a failure in many ways, but that was beneficial. At least I allow myself to fail and look at it and then become better. I'm every person who's part of the LGBTQ that is my age. Everyone who's older. I mean, not everyone, but I think people can respect the frontline people who were fighting for gay rights. Now everyone who fights for gay rights, that's like fighting for fucking I don't know, the ability to stand in line at fucking Whataburger. I mean, or McDonald's. Anyone can fucking do it. No one's stopping you from standing in line at Whataburger. But if you're too fucking lazy to get off your ass to get in your car or, go inside the building, you're not getting Whataburger no matter how much you fucking scream and cry unless you fucking DoorDash, right? So now, now there's a fucking app. And that's basically what's going to happen. If you're gay, um, or you want to be recognized, you don't have to prove it to anyone. You just have to cry a little bit, and people are like, "Oh, well, that's the proof right there. That's the proof in the pudding. They're suffering because they're upset." Um, and you know who gets more upset about anything that they can never possibly understand? A child. A little child can never fully understand what they're complaining about or what they want. A million times I wanted something as a kid that I didn't fucking know I want that was bad for me or something. When you're a kid, you see your parents drinking beer. Oh, what is that? Why can't I have it? it's not good for you. Well, they're right. It isn't good for you. You probably should never ever even drink alcohol in your life because it's just not good for you at all. Um, but I don't want to get into that. But I'm just saying, no is such an important thing to say to people nowadays. It's probably the most important word in modern society right now because so many people are told yes. We're just given the a-okay to act however you fucking want. And what's crazy is the people who have restraint and are trying to look at things from a perspective of why is this happening. Let's get rid of everything else, emotion and everything. Let's look at it fucking scientifically, right? Let's look at the fucking what would happen to the planet if we all did that. Now, humans are a little special because we're getting to a point where I'm sure it doesn't even matter. You can be any sex you want and still have kids because of, I know you can save your sperm and eggs and fucking in vitro fertilization or whatever, which in itself is so unnatural. That can't possibly happen anywhere else in nature. That is beyond nature. All right. I guess it just depends on what you want to be. I guess. What do you want to be in this world? Do you want to be a part of the world that you're living in, or do you want to separate yourself from that world and be completely nothing in it? Or I guess it would be the opposite. You want to fully indulge in this world and everything it has to offer. You have no restraint. Anything you want, you're just going to be able to get, or you're at least trying to get right now. Our brains are just listen. If you think your brain is telling you the right thing to do all the time, you're a fucking idiot. Think about all the thoughts you have constantly going on in your head. You can pick and choose a thought too. It's not like they're being forced in your head though. But certain thoughts you have no control over, right? Someone does something, I want to kill them. You don't really want to kill them, but that's something you say, right? I want to kill that person. How many people have you actually killed? Probably zero. And how many times have you said, oh my God, I'm going to fucking kill you? Probably a million, right? That's still a thought. And there are people who've had that thought and acted out on it, right? Um, so think about a little kid, I guess. They're at recess. Um, and they want to play with these like girls, right? And the girls are like, no, this is girls only, all right? And the kid's like, well, that's not fair, right? I want to be over there. I want to be a girl because then I can hang out with them, right? The kid's probably not thinking that much. It's just like, I want what I want when I want it, and I want to be part of that thing that I can be a part of, and everyone does. I mean, that's just an innate response in human beings. If you tell someone no, you're gonna try, especially if you want something. Like that's the other importance of no. If I tell you no, and you're gonna fight hard for what you believe, then in some ways you've earned it. I mean, if I tell you no, you just cry and sit there, and then 10 minutes I come back and you don't really care. That's probably what 99% of kids who say they want a girl. I'm just being honest. I've never met a trans person really in my life. Never once met one. It's nothing wrong with trans people. I'm just saying I've never met one. I never grew up with a kid who wanted to be trans ever, possibly ever. I mean, maybe later in life they'll tell me that, but especially now, I think if you're not, that's your fault. I'm not even kidding. It's your fault. There are so many. The world is almost setting up for you to come out, and anyone who had been hiding, now's your fucking chance to come out because why wait any longer? That's your fault. People just want to blame their own things on everyone else. And if you were strong enough, you would have come out when you did. You wouldn't have fucking handled it. Now, I'm not saying there aren't reasons you wouldn't have done it. Life is fucking hard. But it's hard for everyone if you're not gay. You have another issue, right? You know what I mean? It's just people are victims, and I get it. Being a victim's fucking the best. It's fun. It's easy. It's instant gratification sometimes. If you complain, cause zero effort, right? It's the way of America. That's what we want. Zero effort, get what we want. And I'm going to tell you right now, fucking people who are like that, and this has nothing to do with being LGBT or anything. I just think that group of people is who the government wants you know, Hitler wasn't the fucking. It had nothing to do with fucking Hitler. Hitler just had the idea. It's like Charles Manson, right? When they, I mean, I don't really know that much about Charles Manson, but I know that they gave him LSD and they forced him into this role. And I'm just saying they probably could have done that with anyone who at least had the want to be something, right? In LA, I'm sure it's easy to fucking do that. But I'm just saying Hitler was just a young, ambitious guy who was willing to do whatever it took. But if you really think that he did that all by himself, you're a fucking idiot. You're a dumbass piece of shit. No one can do it themselves. Never in history has that ever existed. There was a group of people. They could have all been. I'm not saying it's a great conspiracy of why it happened, but there was a group of people who wanted this, right? There's no possible way Hitler could have done it by himself. I'm just saying. It's like Joe Biden. I've never. I mean, I have seen some people who like Joe Biden, but where I live, and majority of the people, they. I mean, and if you really think about it, Joe Biden is nothing. I've seen the guy. God, when I came down here, my thought was, you know what? I always talk about negative things. Let's get positive. But the world is not positive. There's nothing fucking. Well, it's not. It's not positive. That's. I'm looking at it from a bad angle, but the world is heading in a down direction, and there's just not enough people who want to actually do anything. You know, it's just easier to go out and get fucked up or lie in bed and just fucking wallow in your sorrows. No one's getting up and actually doing anything. It's making me so I'm so mad. I am so mad with the lack of care and self-control in people. Or self-will. I don't know. Does anyone have a fucking will to live anymore? And I don't blame them. This world, it's no one's fault we're here. But I mean, it's our own fault because we allowed ourselves to be susceptible, to all this fucking bullshit. When in reality, if I guarantee, I'm not doing this. I've already said this, but I guarantee, if you fucking went outside and fucking worked out or just did something, you would feel some sort of gratitude. And not only if you do it for yourself. And I'm not saying it has to work out. Everyone knows what they want to be doing or what they should be doing or what could improve their life. Everyone knows it. All the information out there. If you don't fucking know anything, you're an idiot. I will say one thing that is positive. The fucking internet is one of the most positive things that could have ever happened to the world. And it's also been the biggest destructor of human society. It is just insane. We were given this fucking tool that is literally it bends or just destroys all we know about communication, travel, anything like that. It's literally just information out of fucking thin air on a fucking device that fucking can talk to fucking people in China. No, I'm not saying no. So what I'm saying is that's pretty fucking awesome. That's crazy, and most people fucking just. I mean, me included. It's just like if I was born in the time when this shit was introduced, I just feel like I would have had more questions. People were just like, okay, let's accept it. No one's like, there are people not even fucking questioning how this fucking exists. It is insane. It's insane that something like this can exist. I don't even think it's part of this world. If you want to believe in aliens, believe in that shit, or believe in God, because those are the only two things that could fucking answer a fucking device like this. No human being could come up with this. Plus, if you're really looking, like, isn't it crazy the Bible takes out certain books because it makes me mad. I don't like it. It's trickery. The second anyone does something like that, you can't trust them anymore. You can't. Oh my god, what was it? I had such a good point I was gonna say. Oh my god, I was on such a roll, baby. Do I make you horny, baby? That wasn't very good. Let's try. Do I make you horny, baby? That's really bad. I think it's pretty good. Get in my belly, Austin Powers. Get in my belly, donkey. I don't know. I guess I'm just sad. I'm not really sad. I don't know. I listen. My life will be good. I will make the life I want because I'm gonna. Because people are just giving me an opportunity at this point. When you look around and see, you know, the what the world has come to. Yeah, I just remember my thought actually, and I just was about to get into it. Kind of segues, and this is perfect. What does the world come to? Well, I think if you just take some basic math here. Some math I've been doing. Some fun math. Let's all do math together. Maybe I'll put on the screen. But here's my math, right? People over 50. How many people do you think over 50 have watched Two Girls One Cup or had, you know, the desire to eat shit? I would say that the number would be close to 0 or 1%. Because I have seen fucking people in their 50s eating shit and doing disgusting things, right? Now, when I was a kid, I would say 75, or no, let's say 50% of the people had seen Two Girls, One Cup. Because it was one of those things where I think that was the start of where society was going, right? Or the divide, or whatever you want to call it. Um, I think there were people who heard Two Girls One Cup and they're like, "That's disgusting. I would probably never possibly want to even look at that or hear about that." And then there's the people like me, my friends, who when they heard about Two Girls One Cup, not only would they bombard me with it, they would show me until I vomited, but you know we would look deep. There were more. One priest, one nun, one guy, one fucking sandbox, one man, one screwdriver, one man, one jar. All I'm saying is all these videos we watched together as a collective. And I'm sure somewhere in our brain we knew it was bizarre and it caused us, harm to the body. When I saw that, my body was hurting when I see, a man shove a fucking it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad when a man shoves a fucking sandpaper dildo into his dick. Oh. It's not good. That is not good for society. And if 50% of the people watch that now, and we're disturbed, but they can watch it again and have less of a disturbance. Be like, oh, keep your eyes open the next time because that's what happens. You evolve to be able to fucking take it, and the next thing you know, you're just scrolling through Instagram, watching fucking people die in cars and shooting themselves on fucking live streams, and you're just okay with it. No one's really questioning it. No one, you know. And if your parents knew, or like if you told your parents that you would watch that, they would be so shocked. They'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe you've seen all this terrible shit that has entered your mind. They would prohibit you. My mom wouldn't even let me watch fucking epic rap battles of history, whatever the fuck that shit was, like because it was just little things. But when it comes to the terms of the internet, any kid could find anything, and it just hijacks your brain. I mean, I guarantee that someone has seen Two Girls One Cup and thought, I'm gonna start eating shit, or seen, I don't know, just like a show or one of these fucking TikTok adults who are fucking weird, just doing weird shit. I'm sure. But here's the other benefit: you get to see it, and you can look. Okay, this guy is in a basement. The room is hardly lit. It is horrible phone quality. So you're thinking this guy doesn't have a lot of money. He's on TikTok, shoveling like shit into his mouth and just all terrible stuff. You get to look at that and say, I don't want that to be my life. Um, I didn't even know that existed. Now that I know it does exist, I'm gonna work so hard to prevent myself from entering a life where I find pleasure in eating human feces. It's And listen, I'm one of those people who can't knock it till you try it, I guess. But it's just one of those things where I just feel internally, I can't even watch people do it. So for me to do it myself, I just think it would be very hard and difficult. So I'm trying to be accepting. If you want to eat shit, go ahead and eat shit, but at least do something positive too, okay? Eat shit and build a homeless shelter, okay? That's all I'm asking. Cut off your dick and give it to a guy who really needs one, okay? Do something like that. Don't cut off your dick and throw it away. I'm just, don't. If you're gonna be fucking selfish, at least, do something non-selfish. Every selfish act you do the opposite. In terms of the human race as a whole, being gay is selfish. Sorry. It just is. Being trans is a little selfish, okay? Being, um, you know, wanting to be a different race is selfish, That's not fair. Um, it's not fair to the people who weren't given that a certain opportunity, What about the people who lived and died and they fucking had to deal with it? You're telling me we've gotten weaker as a society? You're telling me we can't even control, clearly our government doesn't want us to have any control. They want us to be chaotic. And I'm just saying, because if you look around, no one wants it to be true, but it's more of, that's the state of America. Um, Listen, I live in a great fucking place. I live in a place where none of that shit. I've never, I don't have to worry about that, and I probably never will, because by the time that starts to really infringe on people's rights, it's not. Here's what I'm telling you right now. For the because it just let's let's meet common ground here. Let's meet common ground. All right. Half the kids are gay, half the kids are straight. All right. Or we can even do it better. 1/3 trans, gay, straight, right? Or pan. 1/4. Let's divide. All right. Let's make it even. No, I don't really think it's that big a deal. I do feel bad. I don't want to say something that is going to hurt someone's feelings or make them feel bad about themselves. That's not the whole point. The point is to motivate you and try to look at the situation and let's improve it. Let's make LGBTQ something that is truly meant for inclusivity. Let's make it something that isn't about fucking complaining and about building a better world. We're taking step backwards. When people are riding on the streets and fucking breaking into business cards, like, this has nothing to do with LGBTQ, but it has to do with that mindset of do whatever you want, right? You know, do what you think is right. And that's what people should be doing, but they should have morals backing it. If you're just doing what you want to do, that's different. Doing what you want to do versus doing what you think is right, what you're supposed to do. That's the fucking big difference here. Everyone wants to do all sorts of fucking things. What? Okay. What about? Do you think a guy who is and here's where the problem is. People are okay with child fucking pedophiles now, and listen, I'm not saying the whole LGBTQ supports that, but you hear people saying they're part of the LGBTQ that support pedophilia. I'm being all, you're giving people a platform to say, well, we this is a great thing. LGBTQ is the beacon of light. It's the fucking hope. It's the future of the world, right? If you're a part of it, it means you stand for something good. Well, okay. I like to kill people, but it's because I can't control it. I'm part of the LGBTQ. You know what I'm saying? Deep and down inside, I've grappled with this. I've cried myself to sleep thinking, why can't I kill people? Why, God? I want to kill people. I want to kill them. I want to rape. I want to. Um, what else is there? That's like basically the last two things you can't do. And you can have sex with kids. You can cut off your dick. You can make money for cutting off someone's dick. You could have a mental problem. See, like if I was a doctor, what? I understand. Listen, you have to take a year. If you take a full year, I guess I respect it. I can't understand it. I don't want. I want to help you. That's the whole thing. I want to. You have you have to think naturally. No animal is cutting off their own people. Not a single animal is doing that besides humans. So what do you believe? I guess that's my next question. Do you believe humans are different than animals? Do you think we're better? And then my question would be why? Because of God or because of a pure evolutionary thing that happened? And you have to pick that, right? Then you have to look at the human body, like scientifically, the chemical imbalances. Testosterone and whatever, estrogen. Look, you have to look at that balance in your body. If you're a man, here's what I would 100% say. If you're a man and you're thinking about being trans, instead of taking estrogen, take testosterone. And same for women. See if you're imbalanced, and that's why. Don't if your house is starting to flood, right? Are you going to try to open the fucking door and window and let the fucking water out, or are you just gonna let the house flood and be destroyed? I know it's not a great analogy, but it is kind of true. If you're destroying your body, it's irreparable damage that you're gonna do to yourself. All right? It's just not. It definitely is gonna affect the pleasure that you get from having sex. So then, what's the point of having sex? But clearly, to you, sex is the most important thing. That's all that matters. So you're just never going to be happy. I'm sorry, but you're never, ever going to be happy with being trans alone. I just don't think it's possible. And listen, listen. I'm open to debate. If you're a trans person, and you see this, email me and let's have an open debate on here about. You'll do a Zoom or something. I want to. I just want to I just want to help people. That's all I want to do. I'm not a big. I really am not. I swear to God. I respect trans. It's just to me, I just don't get it. And when I look, I just don't, you know, it's just like killing her. I know it's so. I don't want to do this because it sounds so bad. But listen, if I'd rather a kid be trans than kill himself, 100%. But what I was gonna say was, you know, you don't want a kid to kill themselves. It's the last thing you possibly want. But if a kid is thinking, you know, you can, all I'm saying is this, you can give yourself the thought to kill yourself. That's all I'm saying. That's something that you have the ability to do, and it exists in the world. People have done it. People have had the thought of not wanting to be around and then went through with it. And that has never helped anyone. Even fucking the worst people. Even Jeffrey Epstein killing himself was a negative for the world, right? If that really did happen. He probably didn't. He probably got killed. I'm saying even the worst human person in the world, him killing himself, if he did, actually had a negative impact on the world because it defeated us from getting information stuff. So if that can be true, that the worst person in the world kills himself is a negative. But that thought can still enter our minds and plague people. People can have the thought of suicide and then think about it for years before they do it. And that's not a natural thought of the mind. That is something, a chemical imbalance. If you want to say the devil, if you believe in religious things, the devil, maybe just outside people telling you things that you don't want to hear, and then you tell yourself that it's true. Ultimately, you would do anything to prevent that if you knew, like, your best friend wanted to kill himself or your mom, and if you didn't, then that's where society is heading, and you don't care. You don't care if that's the other thing. If someone wants to be trans, and I'm sure this is what happens, I'm sure their family turns them away, and you're a piece of shit for that. If you ever turn away anyone because they're dealing with something or have issues, you're a fucking piece of shit. I hate you. Well, and I don't hate you because I'm sure in your mind there's something wrong with you. Here's what we all have to understand. We're all fucked in the fucking head no matter how much we lie and want to trick people into thinking we're normal. Everyone's fucked and a terrible person innately. It's true. I don't care if you like the Bible or not. It is 100% true. People are innately drawn to the material world, right? Money, power, um, control, stuff like that. People want that. No one wants to be on the other side of that. And what would be great is if no one had power or control, or that shit wasn't important. But we put ourselves in this position. We're here. They have two options. You can either be controlled or be in control, right? Once you're in control, I just think it's a little easier to. I don't know. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, I felt like that was such a good rant. That was such a good rant. I'm happy with that rant. That was a fun rant. I feel like it was informational. Um, but I'm just gonna say this to end it because I just really want to. I feel like I've said so many things that can be misconstrued and taken out of context. Um, it just hurt my life in a negative way, but it's okay. What was I going to? Okay, here's what I'm going to say. I don't not support because I just want to say this. I don't not support LGBTQ. I don't want to say that. The idea of LGBTQ is a great idea. It's one that is empowering. It's a good message. I think everyone can adopt that. Would not have a negative impact on the world. I think it would only bring positivity if you know you look at the fucking nuts and bolts and just see, okay, well, this is just really about inclusivity, right? You know, at the end of the day, we're all fucking flesh and blood, and nothing makes you better than anyone else, no matter what you've been told. I think that's true. I think when you really look at it, that if you really grasp the reality of what we're living in, there's no other option for us to be equal because there's not besides maybe fucking George Soros. And now I'm starting to hear that George Soros isn't even that bad of a guy. And isn't that scary? That it's just scary that we don't fucking know anything. We don't know anything. I don't know. So anything I'm saying right now could be completely fucking retarded and have no value whatsoever. And I accept that. So don't fucking I like my job. I like the things I do. Don't destroy my life because I'm saying these things. I'm not gonna go outside and you know because again, if I go outside and said this stuff, people would attack me and ridicule me and maybe in some reasons good reason good because you can say something that you don't really mean, right, or you can just misspeak, right. And if you're outnumbered 1 to fucking 5, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I'm saying if you're fucking yelling loud enough and fucking have enough people on your team. 1 versus fucking 5 is never gonna win. Um. Plus, this is something you get to choose to watch. No one's forcing you to listen to any of this that I'm saying, or if you want to believe it, or you can disagree. You can watch to disagree and fucking tell me, and then I want listen. The whole point of this is a couple reasons. I just always have enjoyed kind of this thing. As a kid, I would just make videos and me talking to a fucking thing. I always wanted to be like a talk show host, but that shit's out the window. But I'm doing this because I think it's fun. I like to, joke around. I'm not really too serious about any of this. In some ways, I am because I just know that, I see the world can be better, and it's so easy. We literally are at the cusp of either being the greatest. I mean, we already are the greatest, but we're at this point where we're either gonna, destroy ourselves or become like slaves or something. I don't really know how it happened, but it's not gonna be good, or it could be fucking amazing. We could fucking solve so many issues and really dig deep into the problems But we don't give a fuck. We fucking don't give two shits about anything. That's really what it is. We don't care about anything but ourselves because why should we? You know, no one wants to be here, particularly, or no one fucking knows why they're here. No one chooses, you know, or no one knows if they chose, right? I'm speak on, I know this or not, but you know, no one knows, no one chooses to be white or black, or at least they don't think they do, or you know, beyond all that. I don't know anything about cosmic, but anyone on Earth thinking right now, they don't think that a choice or have no knowledge of choosing. Right? We're all here for whatever reason. We're all trying to figure it out, or maybe not. Maybe you're not trying to figure it out. Maybe you're just living. But that was the whole point of all this, and we fucked it up by even thinking. And if you read the Bible, it kind of says that, you know. But I don't know, guys. That's probably it. Oh, feel like I might have said some things that people are gonna take and make look bad, but maybe that'll be beneficial. Maybe I'll be like Andrew Tate, pull up because people are saying I hate trans people, which I don't. I hate the indoctrination of it. I hate that it's trying to be like this fucking cool club thing, you know. I want to say this too. I listen. I feel bad for anybody who was in school. You know, when people are like, you know, you're reading a book or watching a movie about marrying me like a girl, or you know, a girl marrying a guy, right? If you were in class and that was being, you know, every day you're hearing boy and girl need to be out, and like internally you're struggling and you're fighting and you're like, you know, why am I not? Because we've all felt like that. I mean, maybe not maybe not all of us, but I can agree that I felt like that way. Um, Never thought I was really gay. People told me I was gay, but I never thought I was gay. But um, just feeling like, why did you make me this way, God? Why did certain things happen to us? Um, you know, why? We all have that question, why? And over time, as I've gotten older, all those bad things in some ways were beneficial. They're learning. I'm growing. Maybe the whole point of this is to learn and grow for something beyond it. Who knows? All I know is I just don't want to live in a world where people cut their dicks off. I don't want to live in that world. Seriously, I don't. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings. I'm accepting it. I want to help you, but I don't think that we need to accept that we need to we need to accept people. We don't need to encourage people to do it. You know, if you need to do it, no one if you need to do it, you should have to earn it. That's all I'm saying. Because and I know it sounds terrible, but if you, it's just the way the world works really. That's and I feel like people aren't earning it. They're just like, I'm just being honest. And that's just I don't see people working hard enough that they really deserve. Okay, that's terrible. I take it back. I take it back. Oh god, it sounded so bad. Okay, take it back. A little bit. So people definitely deserve to be able to do whatever they want. But if you live, let's say, if you live in China or certain places, that wouldn't really be an option for you. And if you did want to be trans, you would either die or, you know, have to fight really hard and do numerous. You know, in America, you just get to do whatever you want without repercussion. There's nothing wrong with that, but also the shit you're eating is probably terrible. You're probably not exercising. You probably have negative thoughts about yourself. And I think try to fix all of that before you do a permanent thing, right? You can always go back. You know, if you go work out one time, you can go back and never work out again. You never have to do it again. But if you cut off your dick, that is going to affect you for your whole life, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all that matters, okay? And I think you're being lied to. I think people are tricking you, and that's the other thing. It's not like I think you're being tricked. I think that's all it is. I think, and listen, this has nothing to do with gay people. Trans people have existed for a long time, but not at this rate. Okay, this rate is, and maybe it's not true, but seeing in TV all the time. Listen, people will complain. I know I said the word dumb, but people will complain about white people only being in movies. But at the time, and still, at the time, still, forever, always has been. Besides when we first got to America, because it was owned by natives when we took their land. Because, quite frankly, I'm just be honest, we were smarter than them, and we tricked them. Okay, that's all it was. It was an intelligence thing. It was a power thing. It was a thing. And here's the other thing: if I was Christopher Columbus, and everywhere I walked, and I was meeting people that would die because of me, wouldn't you think you're God too? That's all I got to say about that. And maybe God was helping them. I don't know. No, I can't say all that. It's so terrible. It's not true. I don't really believe any of that. What I just said was just a joke I've been thinking about because they always say like Christopher Columbus said he was God to these people, and then but the truth was he gave them diseases. But they could both be true. That's all I'm saying. No, Christopher Columbus is probably a terrible person. I don't know. Maybe white people are just completely terrible. That could be true too. I'm okay with believing white people are terrible, and we need to improve. White people are the dumbest and the worst. I can agree with that. We are the dumbest and the worst, and we're also not in some ways. So I don't want to say any of this. I'm going to cut all this out. It just sounds so bad. It sounds like I'm a white supremacist. Maybe I can leave it in now because I'm acknowledging how bad it sounds. But yeah, I'm just so worried about saying any of this because I believe in some of it, but the other thing I'm exaggerating. I hope people can see that, understand it, understand this is not real. That some of it is real, some of it's not. Understand the line. It's hard for people, so I'll say it now. Don't fucking judge anybody. Try to help. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't judge anybody. Just try to help. Okay, that's all that you need to do, and we'll take the right steps. All right. Listen to me. I'm Supreme Overlord. I am God. I'm Christopher Columbus. If you're Native American, don't come near me because you'll probably die from the diseases I give you. Okay? You're gonna die from the disease called USA. It's not DNA, it's USA. All right, thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. Today we have something really, really special for you. It's not really special for me, and I honestly don't know how to present this to you guys because there's no way I can put this on YouTube. But today I'm going to be reacting to Two Girls, One Cup. So this is just going to be an endurance video. I'm going to try my hardest not to look at the screen.
Or stay looking at the screen. Honestly, not too bad. I don't remember this part. Oh my god. Thank you for watching.